Okay, we're getting in some breaking news at this hour. The Supreme Court has considered a plea of Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi. The Supreme Court has said issues of polygamy, that of Nikah Halala, will remain open for future adjudication. But right now, presently, their only focus will be on, the constitutional validity of triple talaq. The Attorney General arguing for the centre, insisting that the court must also test the validity of polygamy and halala separately. So, raising those controversial practices in Islam as well. But the Supreme Court says that they just don't have the time to adjudicate on all of the three issues and currently will only focus on the hearings on triple talaq right now. Okay, so this is a very important bit of news coming in. The Supreme Court making it very clear that right now, as far as the hearings are concerned, they will only be on the constitutional validity of triple talaq, the contentious practice of triple talaq. Now, this was a matter that was raised by the Attorney General, Mukul Rohatgi, urging the Supreme Court to also look into the other two practices in Islam, that is of polygamy and of Nikah Halala. But now the Supreme Court saying that they don't really have the time right now for any future adjudication, but it does remain open. It was the Attorney General who was arguing for the centre, insisting that the court also should test the constitutional validity of both of these practices, which have also been very controversial of late. But the Supreme Court right now making it amply clear that right now the hearing will focus only on triple talaq. In fact, this is with regards to the continuous hearings that is taking place. But I'm going to just get in right now. Deputy Editor, India Today, Preeti Chaudhary, for more on this. Preeti, good morning. So an interesting, demand or an ask from the centre to the Supreme Court, urging them to take up the other two contentious practices in Islam as well. But the Supreme Court making it very clear that they will just focus on, hearing whether triple talaq is constitutionally valid or not to the religion.
All right. So this is what happened today, Avantika, because the Attorney General, who's been present today, went out and said, pled to the Supreme Court, stating that issues of polygamy also need to be discussed. But having said that, let's just go back to the first hearing of triple talaq, which took place. Right at the onset, the Chief Justice of India, who's heading the bench, had made it very clear that polygamy would not be discussed, assessed, or even examined in this. However, today, the Attorney General who was there saying that, if we are going to assess triple talaq, then we have to also, at the same time, look at polygamy and Nikah Halala. So these, it was stated by the Attorney General in this case. But having said that, the response that he got from the Supreme Court was that in this particular petitions, now there are, it's 7 petitions which have been bunched together, which the Supreme Court is hearing. And the 5-judge bench deemed fit that in these particular, in these 7 petitions, in this particular case, we will not look at anything else but triple talaq. So polygamy, Nikah Halala would be out of the ambit of this particular hearing. But polygamy can be, and Nikah Halala can be taken up at a later stage. So not entirely ruling out that the issue of polygamy and Nikah Halala, but sticking to what the 5-judge bench had deemed fit on day one, which said very clearly that polygamy will not be discussed, will not be assessed. Now, one of the main reasons why this is also happening and why Mukul Rohatgi had brought this up today again is, let's just go through the 7 petitions. Now, the first petition that is being heard is the petition of Shaira Bano. And, to throw some light on that, Shaira Bano, in 2015, October, after 15 years of marriage, was given instantaneous talaq. She had gone to court, opposing triple talaq, polygamy, and Nikah Halala. So all of these 7 petitions, Avantika, somewhere down the line have gone to court on the issue of Nikah Halala and polygamy as well. And on those bases as well, Mukul Rohatgi had gone, approached the 5-judge bench, saying that if you're going to be discussing triple talaq, then you need to be discussing these two issues as well. Now, to support his argument, of course, he brought up the 7 petitions, including Shaira Bano, which is currently being heard. That's the first petition. And he also cited examples of other countries which have, where the issue, and Islamic countries as well, where the issue of polygamy, nikah halala has been
tell me something. If the Supreme Court has made it very clear to the Attorney General also that they're here during the summer break to hear the issue of triple talaq, to really talk about it, to discuss over those petitions and to decide if triple talaq is actually fundamental to Islam. So then what happens to the other two issues of nikah halala and polygamy? Will that also be heard at a later date?
Well, with what we, with the last, the development over the last half hour in court, what we can understand with what the court said and, to the response to the Attorney General, it seems that with this particular hearing, where these 7 petitions have been bunched up together, polygamy and nikah halala will not be examined at all.
Okay.
That's the understanding that we can get. It was something that was laid and made very clear on day 1 as well. Now, but what the 5-judge bench has done is that they don't have the time to do it at this time around. But having said that, it can be picked up, it can be assessed, examined at a later stage.
Yes, absolutely. And Preeti, this is, a hearing that is being done by the country's 5 most senior judges. And, with those hearings coming in, the information about how the Supreme Court even mentioned there, saying that triple talaq is the worst and most undesirable form of dissolution of marriage, at least in Islam. But I do understand that these hearings are extremely crucial. It's taking place on a daily basis. What really can we expect in the coming few days?
What we can expect right now is, Avantika, well, you're right there. It's a summer vacation bench which is sitting. It's a 5-judge bench of 5 different states, keeping in mind the sensitivity of the issue. What we are expecting is that it would be daily hearings.
Okay.
Earlier on, they said that the 5-judge bench would continue hearings over the weekend. It did not happen this week, but that can't be ruled out as well.
Right.
7 petitions will be heard one by one.
All
so the
right.
first petition has been picked up by Shaira Bano, and hopefully we get in a word after 2 weeks. We are hoping that at least the Supreme Court would come up with a solution.
Right, Preeti. Thank you so much for joining us.